I own a trailer. Yeah, not so Hollywood elitist now, am I? I love my in-laws so much that I had a mobile home parked in front of my house so they could feel more like the Florida trash they are. It's a 1987 Excella Airstream. Had it completely renovated. Enjoy. Tosh.O. Today's guest helped me turn my front yard into a trailer park. Please welcome the Airstream contractor to the star. I'm the star, Scott. Scott, lovely to have you.
Thank you, sir.
So I bought an Airstream because that's what fucking people in Malibu do. A 1987 33-foot Excelia. I paid $23,000 for it. Mm-hmm. It was destroyed. It's dented on the outside. The inside was pretty much gutted. By the way, I was allowed... So I brought it back. Then I had to get it wedged in, and that took about 7 hours with 15 people trying to wedge it into its little parking spot. My wife also said, you cannot get stressed out about this. So I was like, fine, it's just a fun little project. We're going to renovate an Airstream. And by renovate, I'm going to hire someone to do all the work. Then, lo and behold, my neighbor, or a couple houses down, we're not going to say who, but I live in a celebrity enclave. This person's Academy Award winning. They had bought an old Airstream around the same time, and you had finished up on it. And I was like, oh, well, if it's good enough for an Academy Award winner, send this guy my way. I don't need to do any research. You had never really done this before, correct?
Correct.
How did you get into building multiple Airstreams on my street?
Oh, boy. That's a long story.
That's good.
As you know, a little bit from the background, I'd worked in the movie industry for a while as a prop maker.
With props, though, in television, it doesn't matter if it lasts long. It doesn't matter if it functions well, in my experience. It just matters if it looks good and does what they need it to do for that split moment that it's on film, which is terrifying when it comes to needing someone to build you a home that someone's going to live in and drive down the road. My wife was pregnant right when you were coming aboard to start the job, and we talked briefly, and I said, Scott, how long is this going to take? I need this finished by the birth of my daughter. And you said, no problem. Did you not? You said, no problem.
I believe I said that, yes.
Right. You said 2 months. You're like, I can do this in 2 months.
I believed I could get it done in 2 months.
Right. Now, it took 11, about it
might have been more like 9.
9 months, fine. The same amount of time it took my wife to grow a human in her belly is how long it. Here's the thing. I don't care. 2 months or 9 months. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just finished going through construction hell. I had the Wolseley fire that burned my house. I had 4 years of permits to build my house, then another 4 years. So I've seen real delays. So it didn't really bother me. Now, I didn't have any real plans. Were you at any point going like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about? Or were you like fine with how vague I was?
I've done a couple other builds. Making small homes. I converted a van for somebody once, and I did other similar work. I just kind of knew I'm going to get this thing cleared. I'll get a couple walls in where he wants it. And once he starts to see it look like a house, that's when the wish list will come out. I would like this detail here. It usually comes in the form of, hey, I was just thinking, could you? And then you throw out something that probably wasn't discussed at any given point.
I mean, you can tell you're a builder. Look at that. You got yourself a no, I just meant just the one dead nail that you smashed.
Yeah.
Are you licensed and bonded?
No, not at all.
I don't even know what licensed and bonded means. I just know I've read that my entire life on the side of people's trucks. Does that mean that if you fall and get hurt in my yard, that you can't sue me?
No, not at all.
Oh, I
could totally have sued you. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been horrible.
That's my future healthcare plan.
Huh. How many times, estimate, do you think you peed in my yard?
It was 9 months. God, it was a lot. Again,
Let me tell you something. A podocarpus can only take so much of your urine.
That would be the plant right behind the gate that looked like it was dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
apologize.
Not only did it look like it was dying, you were aiming for the drain underneath it, I could tell.
Right.
But there's just dead leaves all around it. And then the stench after a while, I had to start, I want you to know, I had to weekly hose down that area. Just have something put together with 10,000 rivets and be 40 years old and not leak. I mean, how much time did you spend sealing her up?
I think we dedicated 2 solid weeks just to fixing the leaks. And then, boy, throughout a couple different rains, throughout the rest of the project, we discover a few more.
I liked having you out in the driveway because it's always fun to come out there and see the progress or see your frustration or watch you. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Are you a little clumsy?
Boy, it sure was in your driveway that time around.
I felt like I've watched you stumble in and out of that Airstream.
Man, I could not negotiate the depth of that step. I don't know what it was. I really enjoyed your project. It was challenging. I did a couple things I'd never tried before that came out beautiful. Like when we did the shiplap and actually brought it all the way around in a curve into that front section. I'd never seen that done before.
No, it's good.
And I just assumed we were not going to do that. And when you brought it up, I was both pleasantly surprised and kind of irritated. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But no, it's gorgeous.
I think it's beautiful. Everyone thinks it's beautiful. And I use it. We always have guests staying in there. Like every other week at least, there's somebody. And my son and I even occasionally get to do an overnight sleepover in there, which we've done. I'll tell you what my favorite thing about the Airstream is some peace and goddamn quiet. Just go sitting there and I close the door and I hope they don't find me. Well, listen, whenever you're back, you're welcome to stay. Scott, thank you for building my Airstream. Thank you for talking about your very fascinating life. And good luck in Connecticut with your new baby brother. Tosh.O.